Sanyu grew up in a humble village. After finishing culinary school, he headed to Seoul with big dreams, despite his family's tight budget. His cooking skills kept him afloat, but then disaster struck at age 22, fired after 4 years. And to top it off, a crushing debt of $20,001. If he didn't pay it off, it would burden his mother back home. Sanyu shook it off. No time to quit now. Over in the meeting room, Heejun drops the hammer. Eric is off the Europe photo shoot. Fired. Rumors about them dating? Not happening. The manager warns him to find someone new fast and keep the hotel flings away. Understood. Now, about Heejun, he's the industry's top model. Looks impossible to deal with, but actually, he's simple. Just give him great food, solid sleep, and a reliable bed buddy to melt the stress away. Do that, and he's perfect on set. Models line up to cozy up for the fame, but when the manager offers to pick one, Heejun flat out refuses. Suddenly, shouting erupts outside. They rush out to find poor Sanyu, getting absolutely reamed by someone. Heejun's manager spots Sanyu, the guy who triggered the sprinklers. Heejun steps in, looming over Sanyu. Why stay silent last time? Sanyu, humiliated in his disheveled state, just wanted to bolt. But Heejun grabs his hand, dragging him into his room. The crowd is left stunned. Now they're sitting face to face, ignoring their past. Rewind 3 days. The manager is begging Heejun to stop bringing his toys to press conferences. Heejun plays the victim. Eric clung to me, not the other way around. Don't blame me for that. You were planning to take him home anyway, right? As Heejun walks in, he finds an annoying scene. Eric is trash-talking the food Sanyu made. Heejun arrives, and Eric immediately starts whining and insulting the meal. Sanyu tries to escape, but Heejun catches sight of the dessert and pulls Sanyu close, accidentally knocking Sanyu's phone to the floor. The screen lights up. It's a wallpaper of Heejun. Sanyu freezes. Eric pounces, calling him a creepy stalker. Sanyu stammers, trying to explain he's just staff. He's admired Heejun for ages, and the team leader assigned him this job. Heejun isn't mad. He hands the phone back, actually looking forward to the food Sanyu made. Eric is shaking with rage. The manager, fake, smiles through gritted teeth. Sanyu takes his phone back, saying he shouldn't eat while working. Sanyu's face is burning, but he agrees. As he walks out, the manager asks if Heejun is just playing along. Heejun says he's serious, leaving Eric fuming behind them. Sanyu heads to the event to deliver cake, but gets lost. Suddenly, the power cuts out, and he's fumbling in the dark. A loud thud, that's the accident that landed him with the sprinkler repair bill. He's forced to beg the company for mercy. Back to the present, Sanyu explains. He's here to thank Heejun for the other day. Heejun points out that if he wanted to see him, he should have just come here, not the event room. The team leader hates sweets anyway. Heejun takes a bite, and his eyes widen. This is amazing. So nostalgic. Sanyu smiles, explaining it's an old-fashioned recipe. He's glad it fits Heejun's taste. Then, Heejun asks if Sanyu has his own bakery. It'd be a waste not to. Sanyu gives a pained smile, explaining he still has rent to cover. He asks to head out. Just as he touches the door, Heejun's hand stops him. Weight broke, in debt, but great at cooking, and looks the part too. You seem perfect for the job, don't you think? Sanyu feels the sudden tension, even though Heejun usually seems so gentle. Then, the shocker. Heejun proposes Sanyu join him in Europe as his private chef and personal, nighttime companion. Sanyu turns bright red. Is that what he meant? Sanyu regains his cool and tries to laugh it off. You're joking, right? I'm dead serious. Everyone knows I bring a lover on my trips, but why me? This is insane. Don't you have better options? Heejun stays calm. It's just convenient for both of us. Plus, you handle the meals. Sanyu's stomach drops. Convenient? Treating people like accessories, he's so shameless. Sanyu balls his fists, shaking with restraint. I'll cook for you, but I can't do that other part. Heejun sighs. I'm not forcing you. But if you say yes, the trip allowance clears your debt completely. Sanyu gasps, stunned. That much money, and he talks like it's pocket change. Seeing Sanyu waver, Heejun puts on his best understanding act. Think about the money. He's offering a choice you couldn't earn in a lifetime. It's your path to stability and supporting your family. Why else endure this debt? What else is left? Just as Heijun signals for the manager to end it. I grabbed his hand, begging for the deal, promising to do my part. Heijun just smirked, already knowing I'd fold, and turned me around immediately. I'm paying a fortune for this, so obviously I need to check the goods. People are watching, but he doesn't care. He tells the manager to prep the room. The deadline is 5 o'clock. That hit me hard. Just how much power does he have? He lives in a dangerous world, way out of my league. My first time, and I'm terrified. I'm too slow, so he takes over. Thought you were just a naive country kid, San. It's miserable being humiliated in front of the man I once admired. But the money, I have no choice. I should be grateful, or at least act like it, right? The manager sighs, explaining, I'm just nervous about this first business trip. Meanwhile, Heijun acts like a spoiled prince, sulking because I'm ignoring him. He's so annoyed he cuts the line. What's happening? Then, my phone pings with the deposit. I wonder if I should just run. But a customer walks up. I look up, it's Heijun. I'm shocked. How did you find me here? We'll talk later. Get in the car. Just get in. Where are you even taking me? I'm still on the clock. Heijun just huffs, asking how much I even make an hour. Since I'm alone, I can't leave, so he sits in the corner, ordering every dessert. He's naturally drawing a crowd. I just stare. A month ago, I'd be fawning too. I guess that's what happens when the hero worship finally fades. After work, where are we actually going? He doesn't answer. When we stop, my jaw drops. A luxury fashion house? He wants me dressed for Europe. I refuse, but he says it's just a gift. I still say no. He grabs my hand, frowning, worried I'll embarrass him. I have to listen. Trying on the clothes, I see his face light up with satisfaction. Better than I thought. But why the long face? Give me a smile, San. I try to decline the bags, but he isn't listening. Then, out of nowhere, the brat, Eric, shows up, looking for Heijun, but finds me instead. I'm looking too polished for his liking. Eric grabs my collar, accusing me of stalking. I try to explain, but he laughs, saying Heijun would never waste time on someone like me. Then it clicks. He recognizes me from the bar. Heijun was checking my files, pure, jealous rage. He slaps me, calling me a fame-chasing country bumpkin. He screams that I'll never be worthy of Heijun's kindness. I'm shaking, just wanting to leave, but I crash right into Heijun at the door. He grabs me, voice ice cold. Eric, you're my senior, and you're judging my taste? Ridiculous. He cuts Eric off, defending me, saying I'm better than him anyway. Get out of my sight. Eric looks like he's seen a ghost and storms off. Heijun turns to me, stern. If someone bullies you, you fight back, got it? They'll just push you harder if you take it. Don't cry. Here, ice your face. I'm embarrassed. This is why I admired him. He has the strength I'm missing. Flight day. Fans are swarming the airport for him, as expected. I'm struggling with my massive luggage. The manager asks what on earth I packed. It's a rice cooker. Heijun bursts out laughing, and I've never been more mortified. I argued that we shouldn't waste money like that. Heejun just stared, asking if I thought he was stingy. Forget the budget, he said. Just do your job. While I was lost in my own world, the stunning European view outside suddenly caught my eye. It was like a postcard. The hotel felt so luxurious, too. I checked the list of services in my hand. I thought maybe I wouldn't have to cook at all, Heejun retorted, telling me to eat bread for days and see how I felt. He left my room card and kitchen key on the table. There was a second-floor kitchen. He told me to go cook before I could even reply. Heejun hugged me from behind and whispered that I wouldn't use the room card much since I would be sleeping in his bed every night. I was confused. Why is he always thinking about that? But just as he was about to make a move, the doorbell rang. Dad, gotta head to work now. Don't miss me too much, he said. I'll continue this later. I was so annoyed. Who would even miss him? Scene change. Feeling awkward on my own, I started making chicken soup. I wondered if he would actually like it. The chicken was still frozen, but whatever. I'd just roll with it. But I really underestimated how cold it was here. It was freezing. Yet, Heejun stayed completely professional, setting up every shot with such care. After the shoot, everyone gathered to check the plan and wrapped a scarf around him. He stayed focused, totally in his element. He was reviewing photos and adjusting things on the spot. Once things calmed down, I reached out and tapped his shoulder. Try the stew. I just finished it. He said he liked how proactive I was and that it tasted great. He told me to just say, thank you. Heejun obediently patted my head and said thanks. He told me bringing me along was the right call. That compliment made me blush. Not sure how to handle it. By evening, I assumed he'd be too busy to come by. Just as I was about to head to my room, he suddenly appeared. There was no getting away from him now. He pinned me against the sofa, asking why I was so cold. I told him I just showered. He didn't say another word. He kissed me, but I turned away and stood up. I couldn't just be passive anymore, so I took the lead and he just smirked. He told me I was getting good at flattering him, and just like that, I comforted his spirit. You probably thought that was the end. Nope, it's never that simple. Heejun grabbed some ice and I made sure to praise him for it. Bringing me along was definitely the right choice. When we finished, I said I'd shower first, leaving him behind. I felt like I was keeping my distance. Thinking back, besides our time in bed, we never really had a real talk. He came up and hugged me from behind. He suggested we go out tomorrow since we had the day off. I was stunned. I remembered his manager saying he only hits the bars on his days off, so I should definitely take this chance to go somewhere else. I was screaming internally. Make the most of your day off, he said. Seeing I wasn't rushing, he generously told me anywhere was fine. A yacht or a private beach? I immediately asked if he meant it. He said sure, so I told him I wanted to go to the aquarium. He didn't seem thrilled, but agreed anyway, asking why I'd pick something so childish. It was because I never got to go as a kid. I honestly thought about going alone, but my English isn't great. Having Heejun with me just makes me feel safer. His face darkened. He asked if I was just using him as a translator. I felt uneasy. I told him to let's just go already, and we kept walking. Seeing me so happy, Heejun seemed confused, but since it was the first time I'd really smiled on this trip, he let it slide. Suddenly, my eyes filled with sadness. I admitted I was jealous of families visiting together. That would be nice. We checked out the souvenir shop. Looking at the bears, I bluntly critiqued his taste. This is the fish my grandma loved. I used to see it in ocean videos at karaoke bars. I thought she'd love it if I bought it, but it cost $20. Just as I was debating, Heejun grabbed it and insisted on buying it for me. I grabbed his hand and firmly said no. This is a gift, and I have to buy it myself. It has to be meaningful, you know? Heejun thought I was a total weirdo. We kept looking at the fish. Luckily, it was empty, so we took our time. He asked why I loved aquariums, but never went as a kid. I told him my family was poor. That left him speechless. He wondered how I wasn't ashamed. I told him I worked hard to pay off all my student loans. I have a new debt now, but I'll pay it off soon and start saving. My dream is to buy a house in Seoul for my family. My optimism seems to make his heart race. He couldn't help but kiss me right there. I was flustered, pushing him away and stammering. I told him I don't do that in public. He laughed, saying he was just kidding, but he added that he was starting to see me differently. He said at first he thought I was just shy and pathetic. He didn't realize I was this stubborn and bold. He said we're actually pretty similar. My heart pounded hearing that. I turned away, embarrassed, and muttered a thanks. Meanwhile, at the manager's place, she's welcoming Heejun's partner. We find out their name as the scene shifts. Staff says there's still time before filming starts. He finally gets a break in the lounge. But that smell Sanyu's cooking is calling his name. Everyone is buzzing, showering Sanyu with praise. It is all his handiwork, and honestly, it looks incredible. Our little angel really does it all for us. Thank goodness he came along for this trip. Sanyu turns bright red at all the attention. Come on, everyone, dig in, don't be shy. Suddenly, Heejun walks up. Can I join you? Sanyu agrees, barely able to look away from those killer good looks. I love Asian food, never thought I'd find it here. No wonder your Korean is so smooth. Thanks. I am Luffy. Oh, nice to meet you. I am Sanyu. I'm with Heejun. Oh, you're Sanyu? Right. I thought you were Heejun's boyfriend. Sanyu is totally thrown. Not exactly, though it feels like it. I'm his assistant, mostly just handling the meals and chores. You're nothing like the usual freeloaders hanging around him. You're actually polite and a great cook. You're too kind, but I only owe Heejun, so I got dragged here. It is not that great. Suddenly, he pats Sanyu's head. You've had a tough time. Just then, Heejun's voice cuts through. He calls for Sanyu, looking stunned to see him there. He gives a nod, then grabs Sanyu's hand, pulling him away. Heejun corners him against the wall. Sanyu is flustered. What is your problem? Stay away from that Luffy guy. He's notorious for hunting innocent guys like you. We only talked for 5 minutes. Don't overreact. Heejun explains, even flirting a bit. Sanyu thinks he's being harsh, but maybe, just maybe, it is concern, and he doesn't let up about his own picky habits during this trip. Enough of this. Forget it, I'm heading to work. Sanyu starts to storm off, but Heejun pulls him into a tight hug. Still mad, Heejun is fired up too. He holds him firm, warning him the door isn't even locked. Suddenly, a staff member calls out from the hall. It is time for Heejun to film. He cools his tone, replies, "Got it," and heads out after one last look. A staffer asks Sanyu about leftover lunchboxes to avoid waste. Sanyu tries to play it cool and answer naturally. Cut to the set. They're looking for Sanyu, but he's nowhere to be found. I am getting curious now. Just how much debt do you need to land an assistant like Sanyu? Heejun glares back. How does he know that? Sanyu gets a text from Heejun telling him to find shade when he's done. Sanyu just sighs. Is he trying to start drama again? Sanyu spots him nearby. He walks over and finds Heejun fast asleep. Sanyu's face heats up. He brushes a leaf from Heejun's hair, just watching him. He's moved by that expression. It is why he's so hooked on him, though since they met, he's realized the guy is pure energy, but also super moody. He's sleeping so deeply, maybe a little prank is in order? Just as he moves, Sanyu lets out a loud sneeze. waking him up. Heejun finds Sanyu's face inches from his. Heejun flashes a soft smile and pulls Sanyu down teasingly. "What's up? Planning some mischief?" Sanyu's face is on fire. He scrambles back. "No, nothing. Why'd you wake up?" Heejun doesn't answer. He pulls Sanyu into a hug, nuzzling his neck. "So tired. Let me sleep." Sanyu is baffled. "If you're sleeping, why call me here?" As Sanyu moves to leave, Heejun pulls out a cute little souvenir. It turns out he noticed Sanyu liked these earlier. He was slammed with work, but he remembered and grabbed it. Sanyu's heart skips. "He bought this for me? Thanks, I'll treasure it. But really, just for this box? You won't do anything else? Do I look like a guy who only thinks about that? Well, you kinda are." Heejun pinches his arm, making him yelp. He stands up and stretches, but his face suddenly turns dead serious. "You need to be careful. Don't get close to others so easily. I've got to work, but when I finish, I want that cake you made." Sanyu says, "Okay," but he can't shake the feeling. Heejun's voice sounded cold. Maybe I heard it wrong. Meanwhile, Heejun's manager is chewing him out for chasing Sanyu around instead of resting. She gives him an ultimatum: stay professional or she's sending Sanyu home. Heejun has been totally distracted. Work comes first. Heejun is stunned. He realizes he has been reckless, totally obsessed with Sanyu lately, shaken by things from the past. Is it because the contract ends in 2 weeks? Back to Sanyu, he is shopping and catches Heejun's interview on TV. 3 days have passed, absolute silence between them. Then Luke calls out, "Sanyu, here is that soy sauce." "Thanks, I didn't think we'd find so much Asian stuff here." Luke offered to help with the cart, throwing shade about how Sanyu went to such lengths just for Heejun. Sanyu beamed. Heejun might be a handful, but he works himself to the bone during filming. He never complains, no matter how brutal the schedule is. He just gives everything to be perfect. Hearing that made me push myself harder too. "You're really into him, aren't you?" Sanyu turned bright red. "No, it's just admiration, I swear." Luke just watched him, burning with jealousy over how close they were. I was resting up for the next shoot. I was exhausted, but missing Sanyu all day was the real drain. Then, suddenly, I heard his voice. But instead of being happy, I saw Luke with his arm around him. They were laughing together. Luke told him to wait while he grabbed the car. Sanyu just nodded, thinking about the meal he'd cook for me. With these ingredients, he'd make my favorites. I couldn't help but call out to him, buzzing with excitement, but he shot me down cold. "No need." I was taken aback. "Are you okay? Where have you been? I haven't seen you all day. Why didn't you answer my calls?" "I thought something happened, but you were just out dating." "No, I'm just helping out as an assistant. Making easy money while I suffer, huh?" Sanyu looked stunned, reeling from my bitter words. "Why won't you listen? You just jump to conclusions." Meanwhile, someone else watched us, smiling as he bad-mouthed Sanyu's cooking. When asked if Sanyu'd cook, he laughed, saying it probably wouldn't even be edible. Flashback to when I ran into him. "You're quiet for once? What are you doing here?" "Just dropped by while wandering around." "If you're bored, leave." "Don't be like that. We're saying our goodbyes soon anyway." He got even sharper. "Heading back home soon? Time to find a new toy, right?" Then I snapped and grabbed his collar. I wanted to break him. "Just shut up already." "Sanyu is just another toy to you, isn't he?" Still angry? I let go and just walked away. He kept going, telling the staff to keep Sanyu behind after the shoot, claiming he'd cleared it with my manager. He was just pouring gasoline on the fire. Close up on me and Sanyu. The rumors said we were dating, and I was planning a trip to Europe. I gritted my teeth, furious. Why would you say that to me? Maybe Sanyu asked me to tell you. Flashback ends. Sanyu's back from washing up. He was sad about the dinner, but as he stepped out, I was there, and I was completely drunk. Han grabbed him. I didn't say a word. Sanyu knew I never drank, but tonight I was wasted. He tried to push me off, but I looked him right in the eye. Sanyu, you hate me. Admit it. I'm selfish and harsh. He shook his head, saying that wasn't true at all. He kept protesting, but I wasn't listening. I pulled him onto the bed. What do you really think? As he searched for the words, those nasty things Eric said that he wasn't worthy echoed in his head. I saw his hesitation and took it the wrong way. A physical relationship, that's all, right? I forced myself on him. He burst into tears. You never care. I'm just a toy to you. Those words hit me like a train. What have I done? Guilt crushed me. I tried to pull myself together. Just go home. The contract is over. Jumped to the manager, calling the hotel after my final shoot. After hanging up, she wondered, why is he acting so spacey when we're finally heading back to Korea? Thinking about Sanyu again, I froze. The anxiety was eating me alive. You're the one who dumped him, remember? Why miss him now? She didn't get it. No texts, no calls. Why didn't you just call him? She teased me about our star losing his cool. It's all your fault. Why did you make me end it? I gritted my teeth. I wasn't letting anyone take him. I was going to fix this in Korea. Back at the airport, staff stopped me. They told me Sanyu's ticket was never used. My manager and I stood there in shock. Are you sure? The system shows it's still valid. My heart dropped. He wasn't answering my calls either. She told me to stay calm. What if he's traveling with someone else? No way. That's not him. Something is wrong. I have to find him. The plane is boarding. I didn't care about the flight. I grabbed her shoulder, desperate to figure out where he was. With such a heavy tone, he whispered, Sanyu, you are truly vital to me. You have never said no. So please, I am begging you. The manager glared at Heejun, let out a frustrated sigh, and stepped away to make a call. Meanwhile, Sanyu stirred, groggily waking up to find him there. She offered a soft smile. You are up early again today. How is the leg? Oh, still about the same? Well, that is a relief. Should I get you something to eat? Sanyu politely turned him down, still struggling with the injury that had kept her down all week. He scoffed, claiming she had been a nuisance, and now she was hurt because of it. A cold, twisted way to see the truth. If it weren't for Sanyu, nobody would have known the truth about that day. The day she said goodbye to him to return to Korea. He had shoved her down the stairs on purpose. Just as he planned, her ankle gave out. She had been trapped at home recovering for nearly a week. Now that she was desperate to leave, he was playing games, avoiding her as the reality of his cruel intentions started to sink in. Sanyu knew she had to escape, and fast. In a flash of pure malice, he finally dropped the mask and grabbed her injured leg. His expression turned vile. Do not think you are going to find Shin Heejun. Give it up. He already flew back to Korea this morning. I am the only one who can help you now. Get it? He loomed over her, way too close. She frantically tried to push him away. Gone was the gentleman act. He growled, I have wanted to do this to you for so long, and pinned her hands down. His hands wandered, cold and intrusive. She fought back, but with her leg in this state, she barely had the strength to resist. I wonder how many times Heejun has touched this body. I will be gentle. Sanyu was paralyzed, completely unsure of what to do. Then, Heejun's voice echoed in her memory, telling her to fight. She summoned every ounce of her remaining strength and shoved him off. Stop it. I do not like this. Get away! He just stood there, stunned for a second before letting out a mocking laugh. You do not know your place. Who else is going to help you? Seeing you struggle like this, it just makes me want you more. Suddenly, the door lock beeped. They both froze in their tracks. Before they could even breathe, Heejun burst through the door, lunging forward with a brutal kick that sent the guy trembling in agony. Sanyu watched, stunned, barely able to process the sight. Heejun was a blur of pure rage, raining down relentless punches. She had to step in. If the reporters get wind of this, it will be a disaster. Her voice finally cut through his blind fury. He looked at the mess on the floor, then back at her. He scrambled over, desperate. Are you okay? Did that bastard lay a hand on you? He is the one who messed up your leg, right? It was just a slip, I swear. Please, just calm down. Heejun could not stop himself and pulled her into a tight hug. His frame shook against hers. You idiot, why did you not call me? Do you have any idea how terrified I was? I am so sorry for making you worry. Thank you for coming to get me. Really, I am fine. Tears welled in his eyes as he broke down. If I had only known sooner, this never would have happened. I am sorry I killed the contract without asking. I was just so scared you would fall for him that I panicked and burned everything down. I know I crossed the line. I wanted to make it right when I returned. I grew up spoiled, never realizing how precious you were to me. I truly am sorry. Please, just forgive me. From now on, I am going to treat you better. Sanyu stayed silent, but her face burned. Her heart was melting. Heejun is such a childish, impulsive mess. He is always stirring up trouble until I am drained. But the time we spend together is always worth it. Because of him, I am so much more confident. I have the guts to chase my dreams now. We have hurt each other, sure, but maybe that just makes us stronger in the long run. Heejun tackled her in a puppy-like embrace. Meanwhile, the manager rushed in with the police, blushing bright red at the display. She quickly cleared the air. The real culprit is the one passed out under the bed over there. Fast forward 1 month. Thanks for the drink. You didn't even invite me. Heejun asked me to bring this over. Now I have to run another errand for him. You finished? The manager caught her before she could rush off. She leaned in, whispering, Why are you pushing yourself so hard? You are so young, but you are balancing a million things. Sanyu blushed and shoved her away. Do not put those kinds of ideas in my head. It is not that hard. I am doing it for my dream. I know Heejun gets it. The manager just sighed, thinking what a genuinely good kid she was. She took the package to the address Heejun sent. It wasn't just some small studio. The second she stepped in, Heejun came sprinting out to tackle her in a hug. I missed you so much. He could not help but lean in for a kiss, fully recharged. Here you go, sweetheart. You haven't even put your drink down yet. But this doesn't look like a film set, does it? Come here. I have something to show you. You said you wanted your own cafe and dessert spot, right? Well, starting today, this whole place is your new baking studio. Sanyu stood there, stunned, before angrily shaking her head. Heejun, have you lost your mind? I have told you 1,000 times to stop buying me gifts. It is just a little something for my lover. That is not okay either. I am just messing with you. Why so serious? You know how I am. With a grin, Heejun pulled out a thick folder. She reached out to grab it. He explained it was compensation for her pain. Heejun had been lurking, overhearing Eric. Eric had been bragging about bullying her at the party. Heejun cornered him until he finally cracked and confessed to locking her in that equipment room. He twisted the tap and let the water flow. Maybe he finally felt a pang of guilt, handing over this cash as some kind of apology. Take it rent a place, use it for your shop. You're finally chasing that dream. Sanyu just froze, totally unsure. But this feels so wrong. Heejun cupped her face, pulling her close. Listen, you earned every single cent. I've seen how hard you grind. This is your share, your victory. So, just say thank you. And just like that, our two leads finally got their long-awaited happy ending.